Guys, welcome to another episode of Selling Frankston, and today's guest, and it's a first. We've got Luke McGree from the O'Brien's Group at the moment, the number one office in the group.
No, second.
Carrum
Downs is first.
Carrum Downs, there you go. But there's no doubt there's a first here because being you're the first competing agent that we're up against.
Love it.
But the best thing is you're number one, not just in Frankston, but Frankston South.
According to realestate.com, I am. I still don't think I'm number one in Frankston South. But
okay.
They give me the badge, so I roll with it.
Roll with that.
take that every
you
day.
got to take that, Luke. It's was that just quickly? Was that by design or by accident?
By accident.
Really?
Yeah. What, getting the little badge?
No, being number one in both Frankston and Frankston South.
No, that's been a goal of mine since I started. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I really wanted to do that. Yeah.
Josh, we better get moving.
I was thinking that it's been.
What is number one though? It's just It's just I don't know. It's an opinion. I think. I don't think there's such a thing. I just leverage it where I can to try and get more business.
Well, I tell you what, it's interesting, and that's why we got you on because, you know, you've been in it. Is it how many years now have you been in real estate?
6 or 7. Yeah.
Okay.
I was
19,
yeah.
And you're you know. You may ask how young you are or how mature you are.
26.
26. And you got a young family, I know. Yep.
Yeah.
Married
with kids.
Fantastic.
I got an old soul. One. Married with a kid.
Married with a kid. When you said kids, I'm like, how many have you got? That's brilliant. Fantastic. So you've started with, you've been with O'Brien's pretty much the whole way?
Yeah.
Yep. And just a question, to get to that number one, and I see the results and the numbers that you're doing, which I've pumped those sort of numbers out myself for a few years, but
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I commend you for doing such a huge effort. But I must say, just when did it click into gear for you? Was it can you just elaborate there?
When I just decided to build a team, I suppose I don't think that. I think I sell about 150 a year across like that general Frankston Council area, but I don't do that myself. You know, I feel like I've got a team of 4, and I don't. I've only got certain tasks that I do, and everything that's not in those tasks, I don't do it.
You don't do it,
and
so you outsource.
That's what allows me to do that. Yeah,
brilliant. So I gather you got a buyer's agent, sales associate.
Two sales. I don't like the term PAs or anything. They're just agents, and they're in my team, and they sell my properties, and they give 5-star service to buyers because I can't.
Yeah,
there's only so many.
Because I was going to say it's when you're running those sort of that volume, the amount of stock that you've got at any given time. How many listings would you be carrying at any one given time?
I like to keep it sub 20 on market.
Yep.
Yeah, I try not to go over 20 online at one time. Okay. Sometimes it happens, if things slow down a little bit and days on market extend. But then I'll probably have, always 15 to 20 online, and then another 20 ready to go. Ready to go,
yep. So would it be fair to say, was it when you got married that you really started to pump the numbers?
I think they increased, but I remember like the first months that I started in the office, I'd say to my boss, Andrew, I'd say to him, like, I want to be number one. So I just talked about it he thought I was arrogant.
Wow.
When I started.
So you manifested that.
That's
you
it.
Put it in there, yep.
What's the point in doing all this work if you're not going to really squeeze the lemon? Like there's other jobs you could do that is not real estate that would probably give you a better lifestyle. So if I'm going to do it, I want to be the best I can.
Yeah.
I can be.
Where did that stem from? Is that a sporting? I know I did some research. You got a bit of a basketball background.
Yeah. I'm competitive by nature. I think most good sales agents would be competitive by nature. You sort of have to be. But yeah, I just wanted to have a good life, Yeah. That's the truth. Like I picked real estate because it's the job you can sort of make great income without a uni degree, and I wasn't that way inclined school wise, and
School wise, you're another fellow John Paul?
No, my dad taught there.
I was going to say, because I knew
that's right.
You said
your dad did teach. He taught you.
I do recall.
Yeah.
I wasn't a good student. I wasn't great.
He likes you. He said that merchant boy was a good boy.
There you go.
I was at least, I
There was a
remember
couple
I
that
was
went
good,
through.
but then I reckon year 11, year 12, they brought in the computers. And
Yeah.
after that, I was just distracted. Games, having fun.
Very good. And what school did you go to, Luke?
Flinders.
Flinders.
Entire.
Oh, very good. That's a lovely school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
brilliant.
love Flinders. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So you went pretty much from, was it straight from high school straight into, or did you have a bit of a gap year or?
I think I went to high school in America for year 11 and 12 because I played basketball, and then when I got back, I didn't have a certificate, like a VCE certificate, so I had to finish at TAFE,
Yep.
like 6 months at TAFE just to get my year 12 certificate, and then I just did the normal. I did some bartending for a bit of labouring jobs, bit of scaffolding, bit of everything,
Right.
and then got to 19 and thought it's time to make some money.
Make some money.
What made you choose real estate of all things?
I'm not going to give you an answer of like I like houses or I'm passionate about property and stuff. Like that wasn't the driver for me at the start. The driver was I could come in and make great income with from just based on the effort that I put in. That was the real reason.
Yeah.
I think that's the real reason for most people. They don't say it, but it's the real reason
I,
for most people.
I totally get it. I think you nailed it on the head when, and having been, I was at John Paul, got kicked out, went to
Not by my dad.
No, not by but one of his colleagues politely asked me, "Juan, you're disrupting the class." So I was very good at doing my work, and I'd finish real early, and then I'd be a disruptor. I was like the Tasmanian devil, just fire up, and then at the end of year 11, I got asked, me and a couple of mates,
See you later.
you guys, we're trying to get better TR scores, so we think you can go. And we said, well, what if we don't? They said, well, if you don't go, we'll give you a bit of a nudge. If they tried to do it nowadays, it would have been different.
Yeah.
But certainly the money is great. But let's be frank though, there's a lot of people that will come in, and you would have seen this at where you are. There's a lot of people that come into the industry just flashy. They're gonna, we're gonna make it. They think it's gonna be easy. It's not an easy gig.
No, the money's only good if you're in the top 5% of agents. That's the thing. And that stems back to what I said before. If you're going to be in real estate and not be in the top 5-10% of agents, I don't think you should be in real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go and work
reward,
5 days a week and make more money and have a better work-life balance.
Yeah. And there's no doubt, look, the work-life balance can sort of get disrupted. I know for me was when, I had the 2 kids and really things clicked into gear for me. I went from, and there's things that will click you into gear, but you want to make sure that you make the best out of it as you can. What have been the challenges that you've noticed as an agent working in Frankston?
Good question. Since I started, like when I first started, within 3 months we went into lockdown. So that was the start of my career was, get employed, you're all wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, and then bang, we're in lockdown. So that was pretty scary. It was scary for every business owner.
Yeah.
So that was really tricky. Couldn't really do much.
Yep.
But that probably really, really helped me because you had to get creative. I remember I was going to properties, taking videos on my iPhone, putting them on my Facebook page and selling them off Facebook, because you just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it was just about getting creative. So that was a hard challenge. And then we got the peak market after that where that was insane. You just did the first open home, you had 8 offers. So that was insane. And then the rate started increasing and we had that tough market. So I said to Andrew and my family just the other day, like I would love here in Victoria, I would love just 5 years of just consistent growth, not 10 or 15, just give me 5 years straight of 5 or 6%. You know what I mean? Just and give me some consistency.
It's very interesting what you've just said because I've been in it 25 years and we saw the coming out of COVID, it was just, there was that uncertainty and people when they're not stable there's uncertainty, they pull back, everyone sort of retracts, but once things sort of balance out, there's hope, then things start to rise. And I must say I've never seen the market as volatile as what it's been in the last few months. Would that be fair
That's
to say?
the truth. Absolutely.
Yeah. And numbers, like with our numbers at Opens, like we had properties where
we were averaging 48 groups through 2025, 48 people per property. And then you look now and it's like,
a good Open's like 8
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And if I got 8 through an Open last year, I would have been
Disappointed.
really disappointed. Yeah.
like this, we need a price alignment. There's
Yeah,
something wrong
yeah.
with
So
it.
I think, but I do think good properties are still selling. I think
Absolutely.
presentation matters more than ever.
Yep.
Pricing strategy matters more than ever. There are buyers out there who need to buy and want to buy.
Yep.
But yeah, gone are the days of just slapping it on realestate.com and turning up to the first Open and
Yeah.
And then it
bang, you're
sells.
done.
And bang. Yeah. And it's that's a really good comment. I think the as we know, all the prices are getting shifted as we know. July 1, we get an increase, well, the agents, and then they pass it on to the consumers. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you, because I noticed when you first started, you were in that Frankston area, and you've encroached into Frankston South, which
Sorry,
is
gents.
Well played.
no,
Luke, well
no,
played.
you mentioned it a couple of years ago. Well, man, I'm looking at getting in there, and mate, you
spoke
really
it out and you
spoke it
damn
out
it, and you did it.
and you've done it, and you've had some really, really good results, mate. And it's interesting. We were talking about it before. We've got agents, and we've got mutual respect for, because if you lose to someone who actually cares for the client and is doing the right process, it's best man wins. That's how we perceive it. And
Same here.
if they go, look, we've decided to go with Luke, you sort of go, where's the speedball, or whack a few, whack a few out.
Yeah.
But then you go, like, hey, Luke must be doing something well, and best of luck. You're in good hands. You never ever will. I always say, well done. Best of luck. If when you look to rebuy in the area, if you're staying, we're more than happy to help out. And but there's some really good agents in our area. But I know when you first cut it in Frankston, what was that key area that you were working originally?
This Central Frankston,
Yeah.
in and around that train station.
Wow.
And I like made my career on selling the Ambassador and Quest apartments.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
that's how I got deal exposure.
Jeez.
And there were the listings that no one sort of really wanted to touch.
Yeah.
But I was like 21, 22, not really much experience. And look, I probably don't take them on as much now, but
Yeah.
that's how I remember, like, I sold in my first year, I sold like 15 in the Ambassador in 1 year.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that well, if you know the building, it is
Yeah.
incredible, but
Yeah.
it's a tough build. It's a tough.
Do they still have to have a? I know there's police escorts for ambulances that go in. Are they still doing that?
Oh, there's plenty. There's plenty going on. But
you know what? You have to start somewhere. But what I want to ask is the investor market, and we know with what's happened with the federal budget that we rolled out 6 months ago with the Labor government. Have you seen a mass exodus of the investor market, in particular when you're selling properties at the moment?
Yeah. Like there's still are investors out there, but it's not like it was. I mean, 6, 7, 8 months ago, every property we had on the market that had even a skerrick of investor appeal, you'd have 3 or 4 buyers advocates on it. And then interstate investors, that's sort of changed. But funnily enough, in the last 48 hours, I've just seen it sort of pick back up again. I think uncertainty is the worst thing for a market.
Yeah.
I just think when spending stops, everything stops and it stagnates. I think that's the worst thing for a market. Even I think if people just know have clear goalposts, even if it is a bad market, they've got clarity then. But people just don't. Right now, there's uncertainty, and that's just causing things to freeze a little bit.
Good call. I think I heard a senator for it was on the news, and he was saying that in the last 6 weeks there's been that much uncertainty. It's actually affected all markets, and that's to be with what was rolled out by Jim Chalmers and Albanese. So if they actually said, hey, this is what we're going to do, but hey, there's going to be some benefits and we're not going to touch this, I think it would have been a lot better. But we've seen numbers drop considerably, and you talk to a lot of agents, and being part of a big franchise, have you noticed because I remember being part of franchises, you go every quarter and you'd see the awards going through. Are you noticing the stock levels on everyone increasing or decreasing, and sale volume up or down? Or
We haven't had a quarterly awards or anything like that since this dramatic shift has happened. So
Okay.
I still think like the last time I caught up with everyone was probably like end of March,
Okay,
and
yep.
it was still all right. You
Yep.
know, it was still all good. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to sort of see how the next one stacks up and see how everyone's fit. I think in my dealings with just local agents and people I'm talking to, they're all feeling the same way, you know, and sellers are feeling the same way. Even buyers, even though there's great deals out there, they're feeling the same way too. So, and it's a bit of a shame, to be honest, because this is all manufactured by our people in power.
Yeah, by design.
Yeah.
Some people might say by design, but yeah.
I would.
We should have we'll get a political. We should have a chat to Carl Stefanovic and say,
Yeah, I
Carl,
know.
you want to come on down? But
If I did that, I think I'd be sacked by corporate. Pretty
by
quick.
corporate, yeah. Look, and we love the fact that you've come down to chat and look. You know, one of the things that we admire is that you've got some really good heavy hitters in your team at the moment. So, just quickly, Andrew, that's your father-in-law?
Yeah.
Wow, I've been competing against Andrew for 25 years.
Yeah, and he's
He's a machine.
the Godfather, Mr. Consistent.
Yeah. He's, for those viewers out there, Andrew Milne, had Doors of Milne. Went to First National, and Andrew he's actually sold my in-laws' home back in the day. I think he sold 2 of theirs. Lovely gentleman. I've always had much respect for Andrew. So you've definitely learned from.
I couldn't be luckier in that respect. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a family. You've got your sister-in-law there.
Yep.
So
Tia.
yeah, she's doing well. Yep.
But it's bigger than family now. Like we got Mark Burke. He's got market share on Frankston North. I don't think anyone's ever had ever. Like
He actually put Frankston North
On the map.
top 3 in Australia.
He put it top 1 in Victoria, and he put it second in Australia.
It was
It
crazy.
is absurd, and that's due to Mark. If I owned a property, if I bought a property in Frankston North in 2018, and I had still had it now, I'd be going and giving that guy a big kiss.
Yeah. He certainly. I remember and Mark's been there a long time as well.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I competed against him, and I naturally bet him. And the thing that was really interesting, the owner said, I said, can I ask the reason why you selected me over Mark? Mark's been in a bit longer than me. They said, he lost me when he started doing push-ups. I said, what? And he goes, I'm that keen. I'll smash out 20 in my suit, and he's dropped and done 20 push-ups.
Well,
but
it didn't work on that occasion, but it's
working.
working
Mate,
in Frankston North.
I
at the
tell you
moment.
what, he was very.
Maybe he's up to 50 push-ups now.
I don't know. Who knows?
He's what he's done at Frankston North, and look, we've been fortunate to have some clients, and we don't predominantly sell there.
Yeah.
But anyone that we have had that maybe have come across them, they were on our rentals or whatnot, they actually said, we're going with Mark, and you can't compare. You can't compete because
It's a no contest in there.
yeah,
at the moment.
he's got it wrapped up. His market share is probably around 70%, wouldn't it?
That's
And
absurd.
that's nuts, because if you get 30%,
That's elite.
that's elite.
Yeah.
He's way off the charts there.
Yeah.
So I reckon he should have a
statue.
statue at the front of Excelsior Drive. I see his boards. Like my son plays footy, and we had to go down to the rep for training rep, and you always see the O'Briens. So they probably need to put a plaque there. I think a lot of owners will be very, very happy with him. So
Yeah. No,
Yep.
agreed.
fantastic. And just question, what do you foresee the next sort of 6 months of, say, 2026? If you could crystal ball gaze, where do you see the market going in the 3199?
Yeah, I think this is a down cycle in things, and I think that we've got another 6 to 12 months of a little bit of the brakes being put on purchasing real estate in Victoria. That's what I foresee, and I've been consistent with that. Like, I'd love to say it's going to turn around tomorrow, But no, I think we got 12 months of the a little bit of suppressed market here in Victoria. But I certainly think if you've been wanting to buy something, like what a great time to
What
do
a
it.
great time.
And,
Yeah.
and if you can just have the courage to look big picture, like I just guarantee we'll look back on this in 3 years going, I should have bought something in 26.
Yeah.
We all
And
will.
Look, there's opportunities. I think whenever, like Warren Buffett always says, when the market turns, that's when you want to buy. And we've seen that probably in the
I
last.
think I actually saw Luke do a video when everyone's fearful, be greedy. That's
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, and then when everyone's
Yep.
greedy, be fearful.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. And I think that'll we'll look back on this in 3 or 4 years and nothing will be truer. Like with how many people we've got coming into the country and how many new homes we're building, it simply just does not stack.
Yeah.
And
Do you
Actually, speaking of new homes, because Frankston Central's got a lot of change and redevelopment in the zonings and all that. Have you seen a lot of developers and investors buy into that Frankston Central pocket?
yeah, you're seeing a fair few sort of off the plan projects going now. You're seeing the apartments starting to take place on the Nepean Highway and
with Baylight and Harbour?
Yeah. Wouldn't mind one of those gigs just quietly. If you're watching.
Another one who's the market share of the apartments is Mark Jones.
He's
That's the name, Mark. Maybe we need.
the Mark Show. But yeah, I think there's plenty going on in Central Frankston. Even just seeing that main strip, we got Bang Bang in there now.
How
We
good's
got
that?
Common Folk on the corner. I'm going there for dinner tonight. They do dinner.
Yeah,
Little
I heard
wine
about
bar
that,
dinner.
yeah.
So I just think it's pretty epic driving through Plain Street
Yeah,
now relative to what it was 5 years
Well,
ago.
we'll put it this way. I used to have our office on where Hotel Lona was.
Yeah. Good
And
spot.
that was a great spot. And before general public got in there, it was a haven for squatters.
Wasn't it Rivers?
Oh.
Wasn't it at Rivers?
No, it used to be Rivers. It used to be Sabres, and then it went.
Yeah, was
and
it?
then-
Yeah, Rivers.
I remember
and
Rivers
then-
as a kid.
Yeah, actually, sorry, it was Rivers, and then went to Sabres, and you had the lift that went up. And so when we had the office, I actually moved and vacated from there. So from about 2012 to 2017, we had that office there. And I ended up leaving because I had a punch on in the alleyway with some local junkies who were shooting up. It was around school holidays. And where general public was, that was just all windows smashed, shattered. And at the time, there was a councillor there was a person running for a councillor. And I got on the news. He wanted to interview me 3AW because he said, I heard, because he was a copper as well, he said, I heard that you had a bit of a biffo with the local. I said, yeah, the guy took a swing at me, and luckily I dropped my my padlock, and as I went to go, I felt something hit me in the back of the head, and it was on. But I had to lock up the office. So after I sort of belted this bloke, and it was when the woman started running at me, I went, I got to run inside, and they smashed all the front windows.
Yeah.
And that's when I went, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
This place, because every second shop at that particular time back in 2017 was vacant.
Yeah.
So there was no stimulant packages from council saying, hey, come in. There was no grants. There was no real drive for businesses to be in there. But to see that place now, and we have cafe, coffees. The shop fronts, you've got Bang Bang, you've got, the Hop Shop, you've got Hotel Lona, you've got,
O'Brien Real Estate Frankston.
your O'Brien Real Estate around the corner. You got the fit, there's a yoga I think there's a yoga. And there's
It's a vibe.
Common Folk. You've got the new, just up the road from the Frankston, what's that big, I was
Sporting
there.
Globe.
No, well, you got Sporting Globe around the corner, but everything's it's just happening now.
It's happening.
Yeah,
and
and
the
I-
hospital, you got the big. So that's what I'm saying. Like, buy something in Frankston.
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
If you've been on the fence, just buy something. You just won't regret it.
Are you still meeting some buyers that you met, say, 6 months ago, and they go, no, we haven't bought yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Just
too.
time in the market.
But
We're
but
just
fair
like,
to
mate,
say,
timing the
perfect
market.
timing. If they had bought, it sounds bad, but if they had bought 6-9 months ago, I had a buyer looking in Frankston South, and I'm like, you've actually done really well. You've waited out the competition, but if you don't buy in the next 3 months, you're going to be in a world of pain.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I think, like you said, it's a bit of a suppressive market, but I still see that there's some really good buyers and people want to sell.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of. Are you getting many NTVs like Notice to Vacate investors wanting to put their properties on the market soon?
Yeah.
I've been talking to a few other agents that are got big rent rolls, and they're finding the same. So I think there's going to be a bit of flood of stock coming.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It's just that the process, it obviously takes a long time to get tenants out if you decide to sell, which is fair enough.
That reminds me, Tia had one I saw it was a great article. You might have seen that one where there was a mural on the back. The tenant had painted the back of the house.
I did see that. I saw that property.
I looked at it and I'm like, it's not the owner. It wasn't the owner. It was a tenant.
I would imagine that would have been the tenant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what you're referring to. So
it was just off Frankston Dandy Road West. See where the Overton Road is?
Yeah.
Up near that end.
Yeah.
It was the photo had one of the most colourful.
Yeah.
It was incredible, but I went, how can a tenant do that and just think it's okay? But
well, I don't look. This is Victoria.
Nothing surprises you.
This is Victoria, and I say that with respect. But the priorities are very different here to what
you can do elsewhere.
Yeah, what you can do elsewhere.
Yeah.
So why, out of all places, did you come to Frankston out of all spots to sell?
Because I felt like if any market was going to give a young 21-year-old a crack, it would be Frankston, opposed to, like naturally, like you see young people join the industry, they think it's just driving BMWs all day and going out for lunch and selling $5 million houses, but nothing could be further from the truth. And I thought, if I'm going to give this a crack, Mount Martha, Mount Eliza, Mornington, it's probably going to be pretty hard to build market share in those areas. But I thought Frankston's high volume, and the buyers will be like me, young, having a crack.
You can relate.
You can relate, and that's why.
And that's what I love about Frankston, the diversity of the people that are coming in. But there's a lot of blue collar, roller sleeves up, hard workers that really are buying not only their first home, their second home, their investment properties.
Just everyday people have given it a crack. And that's me, and that's what that's why I picked it.
Yeah,
but
nice.
You're right, Frankston. Like I've at one stage had a $70,000 Ambassador studio on the market at the same time as having a $3.5 million property on Gulls Way on the market. And Frankston's one of the only marketplaces where you can you can have that diversity in stock, and there's something for everyone.
Absolutely. So where were you? Were you, just a question, were you with your wife when you joined?
Not the first to ask this. No. No, I wasn't. So we went to primary school together.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I was a naughty child in primary school, and she was a goody two shoes, hated me because I used to hold up class and everything, and she was the one who'd ask the teacher for homework. So polar opposites there. And then when I joined the office, she remembered, she's like, oh, I remember that guy from primary school. And she actually told Andrew, you can't hire this guy.
Really?
He's trouble.
Wow.
Yeah. And then a year later, we were dating and engaged. 6 months later, she's Greek, so I didn't have a choice. On our second date, she said to me, if there's not a ring on my finger in the next 6 months, it's not happening.
That's fantastic. And how old were you guys? You were 21, 22?
Yeah, 22, I think.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And look, what an impressive story.
Thank you.
That's so good. And then how long was it after you had children? How old's your youngest?
Sophia fell pregnant on our honeymoon, so shortly after.
Yeah. So that keeps you on your toes.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Yeah, you certainly gain motivation once you bring a little one into the world, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
great.
That's what you saw, Dad. I remember.
It's not about you anymore, really. It's not about you anymore. It's about them.
Yeah, very true. Very true. That's good. And in terms of basketball, NBA, who's your favorite team?
Lakers. Big Lakers, man. Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, they're going to win it next year.
Were you happy to see the Knicks? You would. I mean,
I actually am. I actually am, to be honest. Yeah, I don't like OKC or the Spurs. So I was actually New York were due for one.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good
a long
to see.
time. What was it, 53 years since winning?
Yeah.
And in terms of, do you follow the NBL? Do you follow? No. So are you still playing basketball?
No.
You don't have the time.
Real estate. That's my sport now.
Yep. Lovely. And how in terms of career prosperity, how far have you looked too far into the future?
I do all the time. I can't
Are you
help
thinking,
myself.
am I going to be like Andrew and just
Yeah.
because I mean he keeps
going.
He doesn't stop.
every time I hear like you see him, he'll go, look, I'm about 6 months off probably. I'll probably finish up. And he's just, someone rings me. Oh, yeah, look, we're going to get you out one, but look, we've known Andrew. Like, what can you say?
Every appraisal I've done in my life, 99% of them, they said, oh, we know your father-in-law, you know, and that's probably helped me as well. Like just being honest, like just having that, just being able to say, he trains me and he's, I've grown under him and it's, it's a family business. That's probably helped escalate my career too. That's great. Because I found everyone knows him.
Well,
How long has he been doing that? He'd have to be the longest.
40 plus. He's at the moment. He'd be
started in the 80s, in the late 80s.
Yeah,
late 80s, early 90s, I think. Yeah,
I think it's 40. So he at the moment, I was looking at who in terms of numbers in the game. He would be number one with the most amount of experience, as in being in the industry.
Funnily enough, Berkey was in before Andrew.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What? Berkey doesn't. How old's Berkey out of curiosity?
I don't know.
Being honest, Benjamin Button.
I don't know.
I
think Berkey's. I think I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure Mark started before Andrew.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I saw Berkey at an auction, and he had this Akubra hat on.
Yep.
And you know who he looks like? And I see him a lot on Sunrise. Barnaby Joyce. Have a look. If you have a look, there's a bit of Barnaby and Berkey there.
Berkey's just got it. Whatever Berkey's got, I'll have some. Yeah,
he's full of energy. That guy and lovely guy.
You'll never meet you'll never meet anyone who can put a deal together like Berkey, like out of nothing.
Yeah,
like vendors here, buyers here. There's a gap of 30%, and he just won't leave until it's done. Yeah. So I commend that. Yeah. Even with the hat on.
I reckon he would throw some push-ups in there. I'm telling you, it's funny. I spoke to a client. I was going through some data and made a call to a client, and I actually took them off the database. You know why? Because they said, Juan, I've got to tell you, and look, I've been on the fortunate recipient of it happening to me where the guy said, look, my wife passed away and she actually worked with Andrew. And I've got it in the will that if she left before I did, Andrew is the agent of choice. And I said, well,
can't get a bigger compliment than that.
I just said, well, I said, look, did you want me to keep you updated? Like, because he said, Juan, I love all your emails, but I can't sell because it says it in the will. I've got to go with Andrew. And I said, well, you know what? Subscribe. I said, go and subscribe to his emails. Get an idea. Because there's no point getting my info. I said, I said, look, have a look on his website. And
I'm going to take you off the list.
Right? Yeah, I just said, I'll take you off. And but he was fine. Like but it does happen. I've had not fortunate, but
you would have had the same thing.
Yeah, and look, to have someone who trusts you to sell their property, even knowing that they're no longer here, that's one of the biggest compliments you can get. Where the family has to make a decision, and they're like, "Well, Dad said to go with such and such, and we've got to honour his agreement." So, yeah. So, but it's I love people, dealing with people. Sometimes I've gone a little bit grayer.
Definitely getting grey.
Yeah,
which is good to help.
I'm 26 and I'm going grey. That's what real estate does to you.
That's been the last 8 weeks.
Yeah. All in the last 8 weeks. Since that bloody budget.
Thanks, Jim.
The only good thing that I took from that was the 400% over the last 25 years of property prices increasing.
Well, there you go.
The only thing I used instead out of the whole thing.
Well, that's
the investors didn't think the same thing. Clearly,
no.
Yeah. No, that brings me. You talked earlier about price strategy.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm just thinking about the viewers out there, anyone who is a seller. How are you finding, obviously, with your network, the October 1st, the rules with the reserve? You do a lot of auctions. What is your sort of new game plan? What are you, suggesting to owners? Are you thinking it's going to change or not really?
I think, and the REIV, the governing body of real estate in Victoria, has been vocal on this. They don't think it's a good idea.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty telling. You know,
Yeah.
the goal is to increase transparency for buyers. That's the goal. I just don't see how getting a vendor to publish the minimum price they will take a week out from the auction actually achieves that, because we all know that number's going to change. In that week. That number's going to change.
Yeah,
it will.
It will. And this is something that, look, and I'm not sure. I've had these conversations recently with some clients, and they've said, "Well, what if?" And as you know, the reserve, you might chat and sign up, whether it be 24, 48 hours. I usually like to have a conversation a week out from, and just say, here's the lay of the land. This is what's going on. Now, come auction day, you'll need to set a reserve either around the market. If we've got permission to sell at a certain price, we know that there'll be multiple parties. If there's only one or two, we might have to look at, restructuring your price, etc. But if you want it sold, to do it a week out, I had someone say to me, if I want $1 million, I'll just say I want 900 and put this 900 on the Friday, advertise it. But I can, because he's auction properties, he goes, but I can change my mind on that. Who's going to penalise me? I said, well, this is where you can, normally you can change it on the day. Most people will either meet the market, but yeah, I don't know. There's going to be...
The reason I don't like it is it is such a substantial change to the way that vendors are going to behave and agents are going to behave, and it's set by people who don't know the industry and don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't know your take on this, but I don't mind the idea of legislating that reserves must be within the advertised guide.
Absolutely.
Okay? Because I don't care, because all my reserves are in the advertised guide. I don't do the wrong thing. Sometimes I have properties that go 200 grand over the range, but that's not a me thing. That's a market thing.
Correct.
I'm not arrogant enough to think that I'm the reason the price went 200 grand over. That's a market forces thing. And right now, remember last year how much news and how much heat there was on agents for underquoting? Where's that gone now?
Oh, it's disappeared.
It's just gone. Have you changed anything about what you do? Because I certainly haven't. No. If anything, I'm pricing properties more aggressively than I was last year. The key difference is the market's changed.
Absolutely.
Market causes perceived. Now, there's always a select few who you see the listing come up and you go, gosh, we've all seen it. I'm not pretending underquoting doesn't happen, but just legislating that reserves must be within the guide. And then if you get a reserve and it's outside the guide, then you've got to move the guide. That penalizes underquoting behavior. And it rewards transparency, because you don't have to shift your guide in the middle of the campaign. We all know that's a campaign killer, having to shift the guide up in the middle of the campaign.
Well, it's funny. I've been calling auctions I've been in it now 25 years, but actually being the auctioneer, I think it's my 15th year, but I've been listing auctions for probably 24. Now, the interesting thing was what was really interesting was we used to, when the market turned back in, I think it was 2003, 2004, there was a bit of we had a trainer that said, we're going to just put a whiteboard out. We're going to write the reserve straight out. So people would be, the auctioneer would be standing there. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this magnificent property here in Frankston South. Just want to be very clear and transparent. See the whiteboard behind us? If we get that number as an opening bid, we are on the market. It was just bang. And mate, and you got to remember, it was like the market was going up and then it just sort of tanked, and there was no people wanting to put their hand up. And even when the board was there was people hesitant. So the buyer, we actually got a lot of training on how to combat that. So as selling agents, most agents, as you know, if you go to an auction, they're just standing there like stiff. They're not bouncing around the buyers or know who the buyers are. But we got training on how to discuss. Put your hand up, get it up, give them confidence, give them certainty that they're going to. And that, I must say, when we did that, it actually was good.
Yeah.
I think there's two ways it could probably, the legislation, if it, when it goes through, we'll either see some cracking auctions where they're going to go crazy, but will they go, hang on, you are underquoted, but the reserve's that.
Yeah.
Or there'll be just absolute, like at the moment, the clearance rates. How good's the clearance rates over the last
50% or something, I think.
Yeah, 50%. And you got Tom Panos, who is very big in Sydney, and he calls a lot of them. He's saying that there's a lot that are, you do 100 auctions, and 50 are going to sell, and 50 of them aren't. So
yeah, they're not going to sell on the day. But I'd be interested to know how many of them sell in the week after.
Yeah,
that's a big thing.
Yeah,
the current legislation. To me, it's like asking that's coming in October 1st. It's like asking a buyer to give you a week out from the auction the very maximum that they'd pay for the property. Now, I bought a property at auction last year, and I paid more than I wanted to. And if you asked me a week before whether I would have paid that, I would have told you no.
Yep.
But on the day, I paid more because I could literally see my competition bidding at that level, and that gave me confidence that I wasn't delusional thinking it's worth that.
Yeah.
And that's the whole transparency piece around auction and it not being transparent really baffles me, because some of the best prices I've ever got in my career is from a multiple offer, best and final private sale scenario. The owner wanted $1 million. Offer 3's at 950. Offer 2's at 960, and offer 1 is at 1.2. And there's a gap of like 30% or 20% between offer 1 and offer 2. That doesn't happen in an auction.
What it does, you don't see that in that back.
No one talks about it.
No one talks about it, exactly.
There'll be more silent auctions.
Yeah,
effectively.
And then there's also people get confused as to what a Dutch auction is, but a real Dutch auction is going backwards. So and that'd be a real interesting way to do it. Imagine how nail biting that would be. The owner wants 800, bidding starts at $1 million, 990, 980, 970. First bidder to bid buys it.
You could start that from day 7.
But the government would hate that too.
Absolutely.
They'd hate that too.
Yeah.
It's
going to be interesting. Also, I'd sort of posed a question to someone and they said, that's a pretty good question. What happens? So say, for example, you've got a great listing, Luke. You've actually, you've got 8 people coming through your open and we're going to auction in 2 weeks' time. You've got to set the reserve and you've got out of your campaign, say a good auction campaign, roughly figure-wise right now, if you had 3 weeks on the market from open to open, say you did 6 opens, how many people in 6 opens would you have?
Right now?
Yep.
For a good campaign?
Yep.
35, 40.
Yep. So if you had 35, 40, how many hot buyers would you have in there that would be going, okay, we're going to register?
Three and a half.
Yep. And
that's one in 11, I find.
And we were thinking, we believe that around the same sort of figure. Imagine, so I'm going to play devil's advocate. So say you're quoting 950 to $1,025,000, and the reserve the market's coming in 900, 950, and you've got now your owner to say, well, look, we want it sold. It's in the range. Let's Luke, reserve's 950, and you put that on there a week out. And you've got a bit of heat, so you know that there's people that are talking over 950. What happens if on the Friday you post that 1 week out, and on the Monday someone says, "Look, I want to put an offer in of $1 million."
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to move that, or do you have to accept that offer? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
and there's still no cooling off. You have the cooling off ability.
One thing that I had great success with and still do is bringing the auction forward. So you got an auction campaign, you're in the middle of it, and you're quoting 850 to 935. Buyer says, I love it. I want to buy it. What's it going to take to buy it? And you say, look, it's going to auction. They go, I'm going to give you an offer anyway. Here's 980. That we've all had that happen before.
Yeah.
But what I think it's important for the buyer to know is the method of sale was always auction. Before you saw it, it was an auction. You've seen it, it's an auction. You love it, it's still an auction. So we're going to bring that date forward. Give me the offer in writing. I'll get confirmation that buys it, and I'll meet you at the property at 6:00 tomorrow. And that still just gives the other buyers equal and fair opportunity to compete for it.
Yeah.
And that's something, once again.
I think it's, in my opinion, if you could do that with all the auction properties, that would be brilliant. Because I know I've done that, and you have to, I think it's by law, you have to have 72 hours. You've got to give, if it's a public auction, you're bringing it in, you've got to give, you can't say, for example, someone makes an offer today, you can't auction it the next day. It's got to be within 72 hours. So it gives everyone an opportunity to publicly declare.
Set.
And you've said it, and you say, guys, look, yep, your offer's been accepted, but we're now moving it in. It's 3 days now. You've got the 3-day no calling off period. And then on the day, and it's actually, it's interesting how many times it flies off.
Well, I've found buyers reluctant. You might be, if you're watching this, going, I'm a buyer. Well, why would I do that? And fair question, because, but that is the auction process. The reason you as a buyer want to make a prior offer, calling a spade, is you want to eliminate the competition. Otherwise, you just wait for the auction and try and buy it for cheaper.
Yep.
So that's why it's important to stick to your guns. If you selected auction, run the auction. If you believe it's in the best interest of your vendor, of course.
Yeah. No, good call. I think it's interesting. Have you found that there's been much resistance from sellers that were thinking, okay, I've seen you at auction, Luke. I love what you do. With this new legislation, we don't know. We're talking to other agents, and they're saying, no, don't do auctions.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a bit of resistance?
A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, little bit. I think vendors don't want to auction their home. We always hear, I don't want to do auction. You hear that from a vendor. Have you're presenting? Yes. I don't want to do an auction one.
Or we hear that all the time.
Correct. and I think vendors say that not because they're scared of the auction, they're scared of their home failing at auction. The only reason it would fail at auction is because it's priced too high. It's not marketed properly.
You know what?
They don't want to face the noise, and fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. As a homeowner, you have the full right. It's within your rights to hold on to this champagne price that's 40% above what it's worth. But doing a private sale to protect that, and your days on market end up at 6 months. That's doing nothing for you.
It's actually going to cost you money.
No one gets an offer month 6.
Yeah,
that's a good offer.
Yeah,
really. Unless you wait long enough and the market fully changes. And I've seen that happen. I have seen that happen, but it took 12 months.
It's interesting. I had a concept that I was thinking of doing, and I always think it'd be pretty cool. Imagine this, right? Because I know you do auctions. We do auctions. Say you've got your Ray Whites and your Barry Planks, but imagine if we got the where's that? The art centre, right? Imagine having the art centre, and we go, okay, we're going to have we're going to do auctions. So we've got Luke McGree. He's got property number 1.
Yeah.
And
in-room event.
In-room event.
Yeah.
And we've seen. I've been part of it before, where we did a big one for a franchise, and in Frankston it was great. And we did it at the International Hotel, and I think we auctioned 12 properties and 10 sold in a really tough market, which was really interesting. But imagine doing it where you have all the other agents there, and you got all these auctioneers coming in, and they come on, and it's a bit like the block, but you've got all the buyers that are there because they've gone through your property, they've gone through mine, Josh's, all these others, and we're just sitting there. Okay, Luke, your auction up. Yep, up it goes. And if it doesn't sell, well, then you can negotiate it afterwards. But imagine doing that on a Thursday night.
But then you'd pinch my buyers, mate. That's the problem. Maybe not you, but there's competitors out there trying to pinch my buyers.
We could do a paper rock scissors. You could maybe put a bidding process. Okay, you want to be number 1?
Yeah.
The owners. But I'm just saying, how cool will it be?
Yeah, I love the idea of in-room events.
100%. I think you could really have a lot to play with that, and especially. You go into the Frankston Art Centre now; it's lit up at night. It looks beautiful.
What a vibe it would be!
Imagine that. You rock in, you go there. Okay, we got the event. We're gonna. Here's Frankston. This is what you're buying. So I've seen Tia's, and we all do it. Seen the video what she does on Frankston. And we're massive advocates. We all do it. Imagine having a bit of Frankston Council gets in it. I just think that as we all know, there's a limited amount of buyers for every. There's a buyer for every property. But imagine bringing them all into one room and they're going, we've got, if we don't get Luke's property,
We're going for one.
We're going for ones, or
going for Josh's.
oh yeah, I'm going for these. I'm going for Mark's. I'm going for these. Andrew, all of a sudden, you could have your best. You could put it in and say, well, we're going to do a price range between 8 and $1 million. Have you got a property that you want to go in? Imagine each agency, it's just do it one night, and then you go, hang on, we could do Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, 8 to $1 million.
Do a monthly.
Do price brackets.
Guess what? We don't have to work Saturdays, mate. We can spend time with our kids.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Like
taking a page out of the commercial agent's book, they seem to have struck gold. Like I've spoken to commercial agents, they don't work weekends, and their clients, those commercially savvy people, they don't want to talk to you after 5.
Correct.
But in our industry, unless you're prepared to give everything up outside of hours, you're not going to cut it. So,
correct. Yeah.
That would be a good way to combat it. I've been doing midweek twilight auctions for like the last year. Some of my best auctions have been Thursday night, 6 o'clock.
We've done a few ourselves, and they work. I mean, because you're in isolation.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, like you're if you've got 20 listings and you've got 4 of your team, you've got 5 each. When you're doing an auction, you might have you're going to have a few of you there. Imagine just on a okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've got 2 properties going under the hammer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, we've got a couple on Saturday to do private sale, but you'll start getting people coming. I just reckon it'd be a really good vibe, I reckon.
I agree. And for those people, if you're listening and thinking, no, it's got to be on the Saturday, or it's got to be on the Saturday. It's just, you could, if you market the home correctly, you could auction it at midnight on Sunday and you'd have all your bidders there.
Yep.
The only reason people don't turn up is because they were not compelled to turn up by the marketing and the price.
Correct. Yep.
For the most part.
Or if Australia's playing in the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah. I still think you'd have buyers there.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe get KO on the TV or something.
You'd have KO there going, guys, we'll auction it. We've said it. You can have 3 or 4 buyers, and we've seen it. Even when people are signing documents, they said, whatever time this was going to be at, we were always going to be here. This was our dream home.
Well, that's what I was about to say. You've got a property you want to buy. Nothing is going to get in the way of that within reason. I don't care if it's raining. Sometimes I say it wasn't a good day today. I get that. That's fine. We didn't get the tire kickers through today. Serious buyers are here.
It's interesting. We've had this before. Oh, Luke, it's raining. I checked the forecast. Can we change the date of the auction? Have you ever had that before?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, the best thing
your house has got a roof, mate.
It's got a roof. We'll go inside, or it's got to be carpet.
Where's the leaking?
I'm going to stand out the front. I'm happy to be wet.
Yeah.
If we get that good a result, I'll jump in the pool if I with my suit. So, hey,
I've done boardrooms. Sometimes the home's not suitable,
or neighbours could be whatever.
It's a tenanted property.
Yep.
Then we just bring them in the office. We've had some great boardroom auctions. They're more intense than your regular auction because you're at a table like this and you got bidder. They can hear each other breathe. It's pretty intense, and I've got some belter prices doing it that way. But I think the key in all of this is it's about the way the home is marketed, and if it's priced correctly. And that's the biggest question at the moment: is what is the correct pricing strategy from a home? That's the golden question. That every home would sell with 3 bidders if priced correctly and then marketed. I think that's extremely underrated. Is marketing the home correctly, and then your agent that you've got. Having the database to get the 5 or 10 best buyers in the market for that particular home through before you take the photos to you've got feedback on price. You can't just list it, slap it up on realestate.com and cross your fingers and hope it happens.
Yeah, those days are pretty hard. So I think that's where, good agents will, if they're focused on a core area and they know the market pretty well, they'll be able to say, hey, look, I've got multiple buyers. One of the things we love is if say someone's going through, and I just had this the other day where we had a buyer that was wanting to make an offer pre-auction, and the owners said, look, what do you reckon? I said, it's up to you if you wanted to accept this. But we knew that in this current market, there wasn't too many others that were wanting it or showing or displaying their hand. But they went through a property which was substantially low, and this agent said, hey, I've got a property. it's marketed at this price. I think you should come and have a look. And the guy goes, mate, it's way out of my budget. He's like, no, come and have a look. And he's ended up buying it. And it's probably 200 grand under what it's actually worth. And when I spoke to him, and I've known him for a few years, or quite a few years, he said, man, I shouldn't be really telling, but even though I wanted the one that you've got, this agent's told me they'll take any offer. And I went, well, what are you offering? He goes, I shouldn't be telling you our stuff at one. I'll let you know. I'm like, mate, go and buy that.
Yeah.
Why would I tell you not to?
Mm.
And he goes, it's funny. I've spoken to 2 other agents and they said, no, don't buy that.
No.
I said, mate, it is that. I'm telling you, just to give you the context, we've had a property not far from there of offers of X price, and I'd say it's on par. And you're going to pick this up for that? I said, it's a no-brainer. Go and buy it.
I just think you just give people the right advice over the course of, be honourable, give them the right advice, whether it serves you or not.
Correct.
Year in, year out, and then you'll have a whole bunch of people that just want to use you. That's I think never in my career in the span of the last 30 days have I given more of my current vendors, so the ones who I will only get paid if I achieve the sale.
Yep.
I've never given more advice saying, keep it, let's rent it out for you. Your price isn't there.
Yep.
It's not. It was, and it's not now. And I'm sorry. Yep.
It's important.
Because I know in my heart that's the truth.
Yeah.
And I don't want to waste their time. And could I get them an offer 50K less and convince them to take it? I'm a good salesperson. I probably could, to be honest, but that's not what it's about. It's about the best outcome for them. And if that means I don't get paid at the moment, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think and look, Andrew's always been that way. I know with myself, I would say to people, look, if we can't get your price, rent it out.
Yeah.
And look, we can always revisit it, whether it be in 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, whatever it goes. If the market picks up, I'll give you a call.
Yeah.
So I think doing those things, and look, unfortunately, there's the agents at the moment. Real estate agents have bad names, but the ones that are doing very well and produce year in, year out, they give the right advice.
Yeah.
Whether even if it serves them or not, they don't get paid. I mean, how much? I mean, we were talking about it. We give that much intel out, and if we were a builder, we'd be charging them.
Yeah.
You go in for your quoting stage, You go up against all the other agents, and then that's what you get the listing.
Yeah.
And if all these other agents are going in and just winning listings, then you go, okay, we haven't even sold the house, and then you got to wait till settlement. It's like you absorb all the risk, but we're helping them, educating them. So it's
we don't get paid on an hourly rate.
No,
we get paid when it's sold. So and that price has to be what the owners are happy with. And we got to have permission from them to sell. So, look, it's interesting.
It's such a great industry. We're so blessed to be in this industry.
Absolutely.
But you're right. There is properties where my hourly rate on it, I may as well have been working at Macca's in 2007. And then there's properties where my hourly rate on it, I may as well have been a heart surgeon.
Yes.
And I got no business being a heart surgeon, I'll tell you that much. But it averages out. But what I will say is no agent who's been consistently getting good results and's got the trust of the community, no one gets there by accident. You have to serve people and have a servant heart for people.
Absolutely.
Those people that are in it for a quick buck, they're gone within 12 months.
Yeah, very true. Very good, Luke. And look, mate, I think how long have we been?
That's been almost an hour. That's
smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing, mate. We could keep talking, but mate, great to chew the fat and have you on the podcast. And we certainly admire what you do and how you've cracked in and to be number one. You've got that you've manifested that and you've chased that and. We've
by the skin of my teeth. I don't think I got it. Bailey White's style is right there.
Well, there's some people that look that the best thing that we've got in our little area that we work in. We've got some class acts.
Yeah,
and it's not been by design. Like you go to ARAC and there's people that we compete against. And we beat, and they're getting in front of the big stages. I know you've done speaking events and whatnot. The great thing is there's some real good talent out there, and what is it? They say iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And it just puts you. If you're getting a few losses on your listing presentation, you have to sharpen up. You go, hang on.
You get paid nothing for coming second in this job. I actually like that about it. I'm a bit of a sicko. Like, I like that.
Well,
That's the Ricky Bobby.
It's a Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last. And we say that we go to clients all the time. Look, best of luck with Luke, and you can come back and you go, Ricky Bobby.
Dad just grabs his phone, just walks it.
Mate, I hate losing more than I like winning, and that's the truth. But you're right. Like, I lost a listing last week, and look, I don't care who people go with. Like, if it's not me, I always wish them. I've once in my career cracked it, and I've regretted it ever since. Like, I thought I was a shoo-in for it. She led me to believe I got her all these quotes for painting her whole house and everything.
Oh, no.
And then at the last minute, she went with someone else, and I just cracked it.
Yeah.
Never did that again. Felt like a spoiled little brat, and I just felt sick. And so, but last week I lost a listing, and the vendor told me which agent he went with, and the reason it annoyed me so much is not because that agent's a bad person, but they're from another company an hour away. And the truth is, an hour away, closer to the city, and that's fine. But the reality is I know who's going to buy that house. I know it. I could text him right now and get him the price. But and the reason is because that agent offered 1%.
Oh, jeez.
And
so he's gonna cost.
He doesn't know it yet.
Yeah.
But it's gonna cost him. And in that moment, I was so close to cracking it once again, but I did. But I wished him the best of luck, and I've actually texted the buyer saying,
"Go in. Here's the agent. Give him a call."
Yeah. And I wouldn't have done that 3 years ago.
That's being a better man.
I think that bought it, to be honest.
I can tell you now by doing that, and there's nothing worse than that. I've had over the years, same, and when you lose, you think, but you have to remain composed. I've had just one recently, actually, where
I was going to say, you've had that happen.
I had that happen, but it's got to a point where I went, oh, look, there's no point you getting me out because the last 4 times I've sold 4 for you. The last 4 you've wanted, and they brought a property, we're going to sell through you one. And they said, oh, look, we went with and I said, well, hang on, when you spoke about the agents, they weren't even in the picture. And they said, we got them in and we've gone with them. But look, we've got another property there if you want. We're pretty motivated on selling this one, but we've got a block of land. Why don't you get some offers and then come back? And I said, listen, mate, you know what? And I felt actually pretty good. I didn't feel bad, which was interesting because I just said, well, you know what? Look, why don't you get the agent? You can shove it up your ass.
Yeah.
I just said, I don't know why. I just said, mate, I'm not going to work for free. You haven't even given me an authority. You won't even give me an authority. And you want me to work and you've given it to this guy. And look, I feel bad saying it, but no, I'll see you later. And you're off my database. See you later.
You're off my database.
Mate,
see you
there's no point. There was no
Protect that database space, mate. Funny, I don't have a database.
Really?
Don't have one.
You don't have a database?
No.
So it's just all in your phone?
Notes section on my phone. Don't have a database. Can't use it. Don't send out.
How do you structure your day? Like, what do you?
I've got a calendar. That's my database, and the notes on my phone. Yeah.
And how are you calling?
Notes on my phone, and then I color code my contacts in my phone.
You're old school.
Yeah, and I've seen agents prioritize their database more than actually being a good agent.
Yeah.
And I've seen that. And it's like, you can have the best database in the world, but how many people actually want to sell with you?
That is interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. How many people actually are out there right now? Like I always, like, if I track, if I'm thinking about, am I going to have a good 6 months? I don't look at a database. I just think, like, how many people are probably in Frankston South right now that have decided Luke's going to be my agent when I sell? Mm. And that comes down to, like, even just when you're out and about, do you hold the door open at Heather Hill Bakery for the old lady? Like, everything, every little bit and every little thing you do out in public can just affect whether that person's made the decision that they're going to use you when they need you. So I don't
stop cutting people off. I'm joking.
In my car. No, that's you. You've got the sports car.
I'm sensible.
No, but
It's
like,
I love
that's
it.
the way I like. We've
Yeah.
got an office database that we like contact. I don't want if you're a seller out there, I don't want you to think I don't have buyers on a database. But I'm talking about like a seller database of people I just track
Yeah.
and call. Like I make a lot of phone calls. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I don't probably do too much of that database stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I probably should, in fairness.
But that's great. Whatever works.
Whatever works, and it's
Hey, it's
clearly
working.
it's working. You're number one in 3199 both postcodes. So whatever you're doing, keep it up. But Luke, appreciate your
Thank
time,
you,
mate,
guys.
and wishing you all the best. And yeah, we'll get you on in a couple of months' time. And
That's it. You pipped me. You'll be number one.
well,
and I'll
there's a bit to go. We've got a bit of work. But I'll tell you
work
what,
ahead.
Frankston South's tight. Frankston South is like you can have a good 3-month run and bang, you're there. You know.
yeah, very true. So, well, viewers, if you've got any questions for Luke, his details, your Luke, what's your best? How to get
On
should they-
Insta. If this is on Insta, then tag my Insta. and
Okay,
you
we'll
can
tag
message me.
Luke. Yep, DM Luke from the crew here. Thank you very much for your time. If you've listened this long, it's awesome.
This is funny watching you do the sign off.
Oh,
Guys, like, subscribe, ring the bell. If you want to hit up
Josh.
Luke, just message him on Instagram. His phone number's online. If you're going to hit him up to sell, hit us up as well. We'll get a few praises going on. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
thanks.
Oh, that was good.
That was good.